Hello there guys, and welcome back to Warlock, Master of the Arcane. This may well end up being one of the final videos in the series. I'm sure quite a lot of you are happy to hear that. But in the last video, we managed to take out Kingswood, which was the capital city of the Yellow. And as a result, we have removed the Yellow Mage from the game. Now, we've got a lot of territory here that is owned by a seemingly neutral partner. And I did double check, reviewed the last video, and at least some of this area did belong to the Yellow guy. So here's something I've learnt. All you need to do is take somebody's capital city, and regardless of how many other cities they have, regardless of how much territory or units, once you take their capital, they are out, and all of their remaining land becomes neutral. So therefore, all we need to do to defeat the red guy is take out his capital, which is Orkgate here. Now, the only thing I don't know is once I take the red guy out, what's going to happen? Will the game end because I'm allied with the elves, or will it just be me versus the elves for the win? I guess that's something that I need to find out. So we're 136 turns in. Let's end the previous turn and let things carry on. Our elvish ally has a mage and he's helping us deal with the red guy, so well, that was nice of him, wasn't it? So we might be able to do something here. And oh yes, we've still got those guys to worry about there. It's probably pretty pointless me trying to land settlers here, to be quite honest, because we're not really doing anything all that useful. I don't really want to have my settlers fireballed, so I'm going to move them back if I can. And I'm going to move my galleons forward. We're going to do our very best here. We do have an upgrade on this, actually. So we can give it extra power to the gunners. Unfortunately, that elemental is just a little bit too far away for me to be able to hit, which is a complete and utter pain. Still have my bombardment here, which we can do. But I just fear that it's going to be recovering as much health as I can do damage to it in any case. I might land these stubborn knights here just to give us a bit better vision on the map. Instantly regretting doing that now because they are within range of those skeletons. Let's move them there and see what happens to them. We can build a building over here already. Well, we don't have a foundry yet, and that would give us masterwork armor. But it looks like it does... Does it require something? No, I can build it wherever I want, apparently. Oh no, it has to be built on iron. So let us do that. Going to cost us a bit of money. Right, we've still got this boat to worry about, which isn't doing an awful lot of damage to us, but let's deal with it and get it out of the way. Not sure whether it's worth venturing down here and having a look to see if we can take any of the neutral land. It probably isn't, but I might have a little look just to see what's going on down there. Going to move the rest of our units north so that they can help with the fight against the red guys. Let's deal with things that he's trying to move away. We'll get rid of as many of his units as possible. We still have our healer guy here who should be able to take those healers out nicely, because he can do a fair bit of damage. Brilliant, that's those gone. And then let us take out... Well, let's deal with these guys that are within our borders, to be honest. Whilst continuing to move units up. I'm going to keep that hero unit just in Kingswood until that's at full health. I think that's probably the safest thing to do, but I will move those mages up. Okay, now I've got these guys coming through the portal, so I think what we're going to have to do is get some units on that portal to stop anything else coming through. How much damage can these guys do? Probably a fair bit, because it's only imps. So we'll put them on the portal hex. We don't want to go through, but standing on it should stop anything else from coming through. Okay, apparently some other units require orders, but it's not going to tell me which units. There we go. You're staying there. We'd already decided on that. And we have some mages here that now have a nice fireball spell as well. But we're going to get these guys moving up because we're going to try and do as much damage to the reds as possible now. So I think we will leave them there until it's safer to move forwards, and we'll end the turn. if the game does end very shortly, which I've got a feeling it may do, I'm a little bit disappointed because I feel that we've ended the game without exploring some of the endgame mechanics. Which I have to say isn't really my fault, because the only reason this game is ending so quickly is because it's come down to what is essentially a domination victory. And that isn't the type of victory that I normally go for.
A new request, my lord.
Especially if you've seen me playing Civilization, you know that I prefer the other types of victory, like scientific or cultural and things like that. Now, there are other victory types in Warlock Master of the Arcane, but as I've said before, even the other victory types still rely on some kind of combat a lot of the time. Which is one of the things that does disappoint me a little bit about this game. I do like it, but that is one of the things that, that I don't like all that much, to be honest. It's just a... you know, a pet peeve more than anything, really. Let's start firing down at these werewolves. Maybe we can at least get rid of those. In fact, we did. That was a critical hit, but it didn't kill them, unfortunately. Don't think we can hit... oh, we can hit from there. I was just wondering if I could get my werewolves taken out, then I could move my... no, no movement points. How come they don't have any movement points? That's very interesting. I don't remember moving them this turn. Is it just because I gave them an upgrade? That's very, very strange. Fair enough. Well, we can construct another building over here. We've got more units to worry about. Vampires again. Right, what are we short of? Well, we're not short of gold or food this time, are we? So, let's go for a mana vault. Anything here gives us a bonus to mana? Doesn't look like it, so we'll put it down anywhere. Let's deal with these guys as best we can. I take a fair bit of damage from normal arrows, which is nice. Not sure how, yeah, I don't take a lot of damage from elemental, sadly. Now, my warriors here, I believe, basic elemental resistance, fine armor, endurance, blade wall. Ah, silver weaponry. Now, here's something that I hadn't noticed before, that we actually have the ability to select perks on units. Hadn't noticed that. So we can actually, for 50 gold, give them silver weaponry, which will give them 20% spirit magic and 20% life magic. Let us do that. Now, let's see how well they... right, they're still not going to kill the vampires. Now, remember, we do have a spell that gives them... life weapon enchant. So if we give them that, and now they have 50% life magic, now they should do a lot more damage to these vampires. Right, haven't quite killed them, but they have made them retreat, which is a bit of a pain because it now means I've moved off the portal hex, but we can sort that out later. We have a new quest, which is 20 turns to take out Orkgate. Well, we intended to do that anyway, and there's no penalty for doing so, so we may as well continue with that. Let's get rid of these guys over here. And now that's put us in a bit of a position where there's not an awful lot else we can do there. I'm going to... I don't want to go too far north, because I don't want to have to deal with Plague Dell, but I think my ally is dealing with that. So what I'm going to try and do is keep out of the range of Plague Dell, but I need to get some units further forward because I can't see what's going on over here, and I can't really attack Orkgate if I can't see what's happening. So going to move the guys up. We're not going to do a lot of damage to it using archers and mages and things like that. We already knew that anyway. But I need to see what's going on. Doesn't look like he has a lot of units around. Though bear in mind, we know what he's like. He does have an awful lot of spells at his disposal. So there's a very, very good chance that he will be doing a fair bit of damage. Now that's out of the range of my mages. I could move my mages to there, which is probably a stupid idea because I don't think they can fire now on that turn. We're going to leave those... actually, I might move those warriors up now. I know we were saying that melee units are often... kind of lame in this game. They're not all that useful, but they can be for attacking buildings, so it is worth having some close by, and they do offer some good line of sight as well. Can't really move them any further, so won't worry about that too much. Enemy at the gate, still got the ship to deal with. That has now been sank. What was that other quest? We've got to build a temple. Right, well that's not going to happen anytime soon. Just going to have a little explore down here with the mages and just see what's going on. So yeah, we still have, we have Icebridge, which I assume was one of the Yellow's other cities. It is a neutral city. Maybe I can take it. It's probably stupid, but I'll have a few punts at it with my mages, because we did a fair bit of damage there. If we do end up taking any damage, I'll just try and pull them back as quickly as I can. We could give them some extra elemental damage, or we could... What else could we do? We could give them some resistance. Yeah, let's give them a resistance to missiles, because that's probably what's going to be coming in more than anything else. Right, you're going to stay there for now, especially as I'm now picking on the neutrals. And the settlers can stay around here, because not a lot else you guys can do. So what I was actually going to say is I don't know how close we are to the end of the game, because there's no visible tech tree that I've been able to find. No visible tech tree like you have with a game like Civilization, where you can actually tell how far you are to completing the game. And also, if you're playing it on the normal speed, you know that a normal game is 500 turns. No such luxury on this game of knowing how far it's going to go. And it looks like my mages are about to get torn a new one, which is a shame. It did seem to have spawned a lot of units rapidly from nowhere. And now my mages are being attacked by this city down here. Again, which is something I quite expected. So I think my mages completely bit it there. Yes, they did. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, so at least we know a little bit more now about what is going on, which isn't too much of a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably midway through the game now as far as technology goes, which is a little bit of a shame that we've missed out a little bit there. So let us have, I think what we're going to have is a fort, and we're going to place it... no, it's not really worth it, because it's not going to be in range of the portal down there. So let us have another farm. Let's just concentrate on getting some additional food. Now these vampires are a bit of a pain, because they have the ability to leech health from us, which is exactly what they did. I'm going to move back over the portal. I'm not going to go through the portal, and I'm just going to sit on the portal and do nothing. We have... Yep, have you finished? There we go. We have an offer. He wants to make peace. I do not. We have enemy at the gates, of course. He's now managed to build this tower thing, so let's do as much damage to that as we can. Didn't quite destroy it, which is a bit of a shame. Took a fair bit of damage here to a lot of units, so the first thing we're going to do is heal up our mages. Now they're in a bit of a bad spot. We're going to use these guys to do as much damage here as we can. Didn't do as much as I would have liked. So let's use our mages to attack these guys. And hopefully we can move into this space here away from those. No, we don't move in because it's an armed unit. That's a ranged unit, which is a bit of a shame. I am going to have to start building some more mages, because I get the feeling that they're not going to last an awful long time. Can actually afford to make some more, so we will do that for the time being. Lots of units now that need to do stuff. Have we defeated the werewolves? No, but we may be able to do it with the stubborn knights. Now this puts our stubborn knights into a bit of a bad spot, because it means they are now right next to this guy, but it does mean we have removed the ability for the werewolves to spawn here. What I'm tempted to do is land my settlers. It is a little bit of a risky maneuver, but if I can land them and settle the city, that would be a very, very good thing. I'm hoping if he picks on anybody, he picks on the stubborn knights, but I guess we will find out. Let's heal you up. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too far in for me to be able to do anything about him with my galleons. So you're going to stay there just in case these minotaurs decide to attack. Now, I've got quite a lot of mana in reserve, but I was mainly hanging on to it just so I could deal with some of the other issues that are going on. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to spend 150 mana on Experience Mine, because I've got lots of mana. And that will mean that I can cast spells a little bit quicker, which may be very useful for me. So it looks like my elven ally actually has a few hero units now. I know he's at least got a mage, or he had one, and he's also got the archer. Now I've just lost my standard archers, which is a little bit of a shame there. Took a fair bit of damage from his spells. This could be bad for my mages. Yeah, they've been forced to retreat now, which means they're probably going to get attacked by these ghost wolves and killed. Real shame, because my mages were really strong. Some of my best damaging units. Okay, he's going after my stubborn knights, which is completely what I expected to happen. So, what's going on now? Spell is ready. So we have managed to cast that. That will reduce our spell casting time. Right, what can we do here? Well, we need to try and take these ghost wolves out as much as we can. We didn't do an awful lot of damage to them there at all. Going to continue to use our healer to try and do as much damage as possible to these units. But I definitely need to start getting a few units out here to try and do things. I can't really build anything at all of use at that place. What can we do here? Bats. See, they're scouts. They don't really do an awful lot. They're actually quite weak. We'll pop some out anyway. We'll have a go with them. See what we can do with them. So, yes, we are in a position here. We can't actually do anything to attack that. I think what I'll do with these guys is... Well, they can't heal up because they're in a space next to a unit. I'm going to move my settlers here. And build a city. Hopefully...
A new city has been founded, my lord.
Hopefully this will give us a little bit of strength against this guy. Not sure how long that's going to last for. Now, if this neutral guy doesn't attack us, I might just leave things as they are. And, in fact, I'm going to. If I end up losing this place, it's not the end of the world. But we do need to get up there and deal with Orc Gate. That's probably the most important thing right now. So, let's do that. And I did notice... Oh, I can't select him now because... Oh, okay. I can give him a perk. I can actually give him better armor or better weaponry. So, let's give him the better weaponry. I wish I'd have noticed this thing earlier on. Again, it's one of those things that I hadn't noticed before. 40 resistance to elemental magic. Yeah, sure, let's go for that. Why hadn't I noticed these things before? And while we're on the subject, can I give anything to these guys? Yes, I can. Okay, so I can give them missile and melee resistance, which is a little bit pointless because they're being attacked by magic. So let's give them the silver weaponry as well. Maybe they can do a little bit more damage. Is this thing actually... Well, that was a little bit pointless. It's completely immune to death magic and has 100 resistance to life magic. In fact, spirit magic is the only thing that really does any damage to it. Spirit magic and a little bit from elemental magic. What do we have here now? What did we just put on to it? Life magic, not spirit magic, which is a little bit of a shame. Can we hit that with any sort of spell? What did we say it was? Elemental. It does take damage from elemental magic, even though it does actually have a bit of resistance to it. Of course, we could use Fist of Crom, which is melee. What was its resistance to melee? Yeah, 90 resistance to melee, so I'm better off using elemental than anything else. Can I hit it with anything elemental? Firestorm's AoE. So it's a little bit pointless doing that. Can't quite cast that yet. I was going to give these guys a fire weapon, see if that helped, but it probably will not. Let's see. What could we do? Is there anything here we could use? Applies to a friendly target, inflicts elemental damage and slows all units in the vicinity of the target. Can we not go for that one then? Because that sounds like something that would be useful. There we go. So that might help a little bit. Probably not, but we'll give it a go anyway. You're still out of range. There's nothing you can do. Only thing I could probably try and do is lower the land, make it into a water tile and get the galleon in, but I'm not even sure that that's going to work. You have a bombardment, so you can actually hit it at least. It's done a little bit of damage to it, not an awful lot. It says a rival mage cast a great spell. It was actually myself, so I'm not too sure what it means by that. You guys might as well continue to heal up. Those vampires are going to stay down there off the edge, so they're not too much of a problem to us right now. You may as well just stay there, because not a lot else you can do. So at least our ally is actually helping us here. He's being useful. He is attacking Plague Dell, and it's actually him getting the brunt of the red guy's attacks on this turn. Mind you, I suppose that's because I don't have an awful lot of units left. Now, the problem we're going to have here is we've got that elemental attacking the city, which we thought might happen. But at least it gives us the ability to attack back. Can't do an awful lot of damage to him, but we can try and do some. Can I hit him with anything that is going to do some damage to him? Probably not. Weakness. Slightly weakens one enemy unit. Will it weaken it all that much? Probably not. Because it only slightly weakens it. What else could we do? Fireball. Elemental damage and does a good amount of damage. Can't quite cast it on this turn. Probably ends up bad for the Stubborn Knights, but let's do as much damage as we can. You've got a bombardment as well, so let's have you fire at it. Another critical hit. Well, we are getting its health down little by little. You can't fire at it from there either. I don't remember asking you to move, so you can get right back there. Okay, what else have we got going on? We have our hero unit here. You're going to move up slightly. Well, there's not an awful lot you can do. You're going to continue to spam all of your spells at the units in Orkgate. Still going to take quite a while before we can do anything about that. I think we're also going to need some more hunters. Let's get a few of those on the go. I know they're not particularly strong, but they do mean we can spread some targets out, which is quite useful. And we've got the golden food to support it now, which is something we were struggling with for a while. So, what is our ally doing here? Is he just trying to deal with Plague Dell, or is he actually going to come and try and help us out with Orkgate? Nobody really knows at the moment. And we've just had another wave of neutral spawning, which we could have done without. Massive amount of fireballs do a little bit of damage to our units, although we do have our mage, our healer there, who is doing AoE passive healing anyway. Neutrals aren't too much of a problem right now.
You have successfully researched a new spell, my lord.
Okay, so we have a spell. Let's drop it on him. Do as much damage as we can. Not doing an awful lot of damage. Can you hit from there yet? No, you cannot. That puts us in a bit of a position. We're going to try and do damage with our Stubborn Knights if we can. We got a critical hit. Wasn't a kill, but it was enough to make him retreat. Interesting. I wonder if we could just drop, like, a normal fireball on him now. Would that kill him? 2 damage. Is that enough? Yes, he's down. Fantastic. We've researched Greater Dispel. Means we can now choose another spell. A Boon of Death. Increases the attack strength of all undead units. I think we saw that one before. Teleportation. Teleports the target unit into a nearby selected hex. That could be useful. Let's go for that. Got to deal with these neutrals, sadly. Could do without them popping up right now. Oh, and they've still managed to survive, which is a bit of a shame. Let's start by actually dealing with these guys. And we'll use these bats that we created on the last turn. They're not particularly strong, but enough to wipe those spiders out anyway. And let's build some more of those, just we can use them to scout around. We have our mages, so let's start moving these guys forward. Looks like those minotaurs are deciding to leave us alone, which is a very good thing. We've got our hero unit there. Now, he likes hitting us with fireballs and stuff anyway. I suppose moving him up to here isn't that much of a bad idea, to be honest. He will take some damage from time to time, but hopefully our hero unit will be able to keep him healed. I think we actually still have a turn with him. So let's do some more damage there. And that's a lot of damage for him. Still got some units that need orders. Can't do too much with him at the moment. Ah, Red has a boat over here, and we've also got a demon wood.
Galleon.
Right, we'll move you 1 hex forward. You should then be able to take that transport cog out nicely. So we're actually getting to a point now where we're actually coming up on the sort of other side of Red. It's a fairly small map. We've almost gone all the way around. I don't want to move this other galleon too far away because we know we do have other units on the map that need dealing with. So we are going to do our best to try and take those out. Right, what have we got here? These guys are about fully healed now, but they're going to stay there. Those vampires are still looming, but they're not doing anything yet, so let's leave them and see what happens. Red guy's doing AoE elemental damage, which, to be honest, I expected. He's now attacking my hero unit. Didn't do a lot of damage to him. And, of course, I do have the ability to heal him up, which is good. I'm not going to worry too much about doing the heal right now because he does have passive healing. And they didn't do an awful lot of damage to me, so I'm going to continue the attack on Orkgate. Get it down a little bit more. Let's start attacking the units that he is trying to bring forward. Do I really want to get my bats over there and get them killed? Probably not, but if he's going to shoot at the bats, then at least he's not shooting at me, although that did pretty much take the bats down to nothing, so they're not really a very good offensive unit. So, we've now got some archers. They're going to take forever to arrive across the map. Well, not too bad. Of course, we have our mages as well, so we need to get these guys as far forward as possible. Of course, they're getting gimped by the terrain at the moment. Right, do we actually bother going down and trying to deal with the vampires? Is it really worth it? We can give you masterwork armor now, though, which would be nice. It's better to keep them on that hex, though, because they're stopping stuff from coming through the portal. Unless, of course, I can build something else. Let's try some skeletal archers. I mean, why not? We can build them. We haven't built any yet. We haven't used any. Let's go for it. Let us continue to rain on the Red's parade. We don't want him coming down here and setting up any more cities on this piece of land because it is mine. Let's see if we can deal with these skeletons. And then we can actually use our stubborn knights to get over here and loot any of the buildings that we managed to take out. As I said, you guys are going to stay on there, and we can end that turn. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be taking out Orkgate anytime soon, so what I'm going to do is I will make my moves on the next turn, and then I will end the video there. But at least we are attacking Orkgate now. That is the important thing. Looks like he's got a hero unit there, which could be a bit of a pain to me. Although it does look like I am the stronger of the two units there, which is a very good thing. Right, he's broken the alliance. Now, how has he done that and why? Is a very good question. Doesn't mean we're at war together, but he doesn't say why he's broken the alliance, which I find very strange. Okay, so this guy gets a promotion. Let's give him his promotion. We can give him regeneration, or yeah, let's give him regen because that'll help even more. He's taking quite a bit of a beating, which I don't like. Let's try and take out their hero, which is probably the best thing that we can do here. Because he's going to do the most damage to us. Now, he's retreating, which is a bit of a shame, because it means I end up moving forwards. But at least I may be able to take that hero out. Which I did. Fantastic. Does he have any items that I can loot and pillage? No, he does not, which is a bit of a shame. We've got some more of these bats. Let's move them forwards, as useless as they are. Let's also go to our spells and get ourselves a heal. And we will pop that on our hero unit. Get him healed up nicely. And what are we going to build? Okay, we've also got these Minotaurs coming in now. They've decided they're going to have a go. Now, what are Minotaurs? Right, they're immune to life magic. Sorry, they've got resistance to life magic, but they don't really have resistances to anything else. Does not lose movement points after attacks that finish a unit. Interesting. So, Magic Tower does elemental damage. Let us build a Magic Tower and put it here. May be able to do some damage to them. Don't really want to lose Kingsford if I can help it. So I'm going to actually move these hunters down. Not too sure what they can do right now.
Don't do that.
Let's get these mages into position as well so that they can take a shot. Oh, that was a crit. That was very good. We nearly got them finished now. They're down to almost nothing. Can we cast a spell, even a basic one, like a fireball? Can we cast a fireball this turn? No, don't have enough time. Will a lesser fireball do the trick? Didn't, but it was close, though. This took it right down to almost nothing. We can build another building here. Not too sure what the best thing to have would be. Let's go for a vampire mansion because vampires seem to be quite OP. So let's get some vamps on the field. You guys are going to finish dealing with the skellies over here, hopefully. Can't believe he survived that. So what are we actually on here? This is a holy ground. So can't do an awful lot with that. We're going to move our stubborn knights over. And then we can use them to attempt... What have we got there? Right, Halberd Hall. Can't do a lot with that, but we are going to attempt to take that old crypt. That will help to stop some of the units spawning. Right, they still should be out of way of the skellies. Well, they're within range there, but they should be okay. Let's leave them there. And I think what I'm going to do with this galleon is just have a look around, just see if Red has any other units. We can see Red's borders now. Oh, look, and he has a carav there. So I think what I'll do is use my bombardment on that. Not too worried about these neutrals that are trapped on that little island. Not going to do an awful lot of damage to me there because they are melee units. These guys are pretty much useless. Can't do an awful lot with them, so there probably isn't really any point trying. I'm going to bring those guys back, though. Let's try and move these guys down. Can't really move them all that far, but I was hoping to put them between my hero unit and those ghost wolves. We're about done for this turn now. You guys are just going to sit there. And we're producing our skeletal archers to hopefully go and deal with the vampires. So the vampires do have some missile resistance. They don't have a great deal of it. And I think that's us about done for that turn. It would be interesting to find out why the elves broke the alliance with us, but I'm sure we will find out in due course. Probably quite easy to repair the alliance. Envy of the leader, -15. Yeah, so I think it's because we are... How do we put it? Because we are in a position of advantage. We're actually sort of leading the game at the moment. That gives him a bit of a negative stance towards us, which is a bit of a shame. But maybe we can... Still has a non-aggression pact with us. But maybe we will be able to revitalise the alliance at some point in the future. But there we go. We've got a little bit further. We've managed to settle yet another city. For the first time in as long as I can remember, probably since the game started, I've actually not been short of golden food, which is quite amazing. It's a bit of a turnaround. And we are chipping away at Orkgate, although we're not doing a particularly good job of it. I'm going to have to build quite a few more units and get them up here for some support. As much as I'm bringing my boats up from the rear side just to make sure he's not doing anything crafty over here, they're not really ever going to get in a position to take out Orkgate. I could possibly build some boats here at Los Sarguelas, which I probably should do actually. So while we're here, we could build a carav, which does missile damage. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but at least by doing that, mind you, which water will they appear in? Will they appear in this water, or I assume it's going to be this water here, not that water. If it appears in that pool of water, I'm going to be very, very upset. But if it appears in this water here, then at least we can get close enough to do some damage to Orkgate from this hex. So that's what we're going to be doing on the next video. So as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and I hope you're learning along with me. So until next time, goodbye for now.